Good morning, good morning, good morning. I know the lighting is not the best. You guys, y'all know I'm not home. Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me? Please let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can see me okay. I tried to get the best lighting situation. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to you all. Let everybody come on in. Let me say hi to the people, and we're gonna go ahead and get this party started, you guys. Whew. It's been a firestorm. It's been a firestorm. It's been a firestorm. You heard me? Okay. Heard me all looking good in my green. Well, thank you, Chuck. How you doing? You can see me and hear me well. Okay, good, good, good. I don't have my microphone or anything like that. And I am on the MacBook. I'm using the MacBook, okay? So it was a lot lighter to travel with the MacBook than with my PC that I have at my house. All right, so come on in, you guys. Welcome, 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 and good morning. I'm not going to go through saying hi to everybody because I want to go ahead and get into what we need to talk about today. But you guys know that I love you, my members. Shout out to my members that are lit up in green. Shout out, shout out, shout out. The block is hot in my Thais voice. Yes, honey. Listen, I was in Thais' chat last night. He was cutting up. Thais was cutting up. He's probably asleep right now, but Thais was cutting up last night. And then again, he not. Thais be up. He probably up somewhere right now getting ready for his day. All right, you guys. So listen, last night, Larry Reid went live. And Larry Reid, I think, answered a lot of questions that we had from the live that I did on Christmas night in reference to Manasseh's video that he dropped. I really feel like this lighting is not the best. I don't know. All right. We're going to make it work. Maybe I should turn the kitchen light on. What do you guys think? You think it'd be better if I turn the light on in the kitchen? Think it'll be a little more light? Give me a quick second. Let me turn the light on in the kitchen. Real quick. No, I don't think that helped. I don't think that helped. But anyway, who is Larry Reid? Larry Reid is a pastor, musician, actor, podcaster. And he does a lot of church news. He's been in the church, grew up in the church, been a pastor in the church, had his own church in North Carolina, moved to Atlanta. He still has his own church, all of those things. But if I have a mod in here, please drop Larry Reid's channel since people don't know who Larry Reid is. Okay. So he did a video last night, I think, answering a lot of the questions that we had about Manasseh's video. So let me rewind a little bit, and then we're going to get to what Larry said last night. So all of this firestorm started. All of this firestorm started by an anonymous email sent to a YouTuber who made a video. The video went viral all over TikTok, all over Twitter, all over YouTube, where TD Jake's name was dropped in connection to Diddy. The report stated that Kim Porter, that Cassie turned over documents to the FBI, which connected Diddy to these, X parties down to Hollywood, which included TD Jakes. I'm not going to get into all the graphic details, but that is where this whole thing started. So I want to be very clear that this started from an unsubstantiated report. However, as with Cassie opening up the floodgate, I think that is sort of where we are now. I think the floodgate has sort of opened. Now, you guys are smart enough to choose your own discernment and what you are going to believe, not believe, pick up, take away, walk away. My job is to bring you guys the information. You can pick up what you want, you can walk away with what you want, or you can choose to leave it all right there. That's up to you. We can disagree, and we can be respectful in it. So, mods, I don't have a problem with people disagreeing with anything. We just want to keep it respectful. Okay. All right. So that is where this whole thing started. From there, TD Jakes is probably one of the most powerful, certainly one of the most powerful religious leaders in, I would say, the world, one of the most in the world, but certainly in the United States. We know that he has had connections to entertainers, to politicians, presidents, leaders, right? We know that he has held counsel for some top people, as well as running his own mega church, as well as having, books and movies and all of these things that his empire is. So it was a big deal when TD Jakes' name was dropped in connection to Diddy. It was a big deal. So from there, you started hearing cracks. Little videos here, little stories there. What up, Cruiser? Yes, TD. Thank you, Cruiser. Cruiser said TD Jakes will indeed strike you. They got me once. TD Jakes' team, I ain't gonna say it's him personally, but his team is striking YouTube channels. So for my fellow YouTubers, if you guys use his sermon from Christmas Eve, my suggestion is that you edit that video, take it down, edit it, and then you can always re-upload it. He striked Storm Monroe. I know that for a fact. Storm did a video about it. He showed the paperwork. So if you are again wanting to, I was gonna get to that, but thank you, Miss Cruiser, because I'll forget. To my fellow YouTubers, and Miss Cruiser is a YouTuber. She does church news as well, and she said they got her one time, and Cruiser ain't even, well, she messy, but she ain't messy. She ain't messy like that messy. Like, she's probably, I don't know what the video was, but I'm sure it wasn't anything on this level. And she said they got her once. All right. So with that being said, what up, Blue Busy? I called you last week. You ain't call me back. I don't want to hear it. Anyway, I'll be back in town though. I'll be back in town Friday. So we'll link up. Okay, what does a strike do? A strike can potentially take your whole channel down. You are allotted 3 strikes within a certain window of time. If you get 3 strikes within a strike means that you violated YouTube's terms. When you start a YouTube channel, you agree to certain terms. If you get a strike, that means you violated the terms. You can what's up, Miss T? You can you can fight a strike. You can appeal it. But in the meantime and in between time, that video will be down. Storm can appeal it, and a lot of times the appeals do get overturned. But in the meantime and in between time, that video is going to be down, and it's going to affect him. So yeah, Real Street News, you did tell people. You told people the other day about them strikes. You absolutely did. Shout out to Real Street News, because you absolutely said it. Now, I asked Larry Reid for permission. I asked Larry Reid for permission to play the clip that I'm going to play later on, and he did give me permission. So thank you, Mr. Reid. I appreciate that. Contrary to popular belief, somebody said something to me the other day about being in Larry Reid's circle. I am not in Larry Reid's circle. Larry Reid don't know who I am. He doesn't know me. I just reached out and asked for permission to use the clip. So anyway, so that is where we are today. Now, on Christmas night, Manasseh Jordan dropped a video where, hey, Coffee and Talk, what's up? Where he spoke about grooming. And he urged victims to come forward. Now, he did not specifically say TD Jakes. He did not say, I want victims of TD Jakes to come forward. He said, I urge victims, people who, he said, this is what grooming looks like. He did a whole, first they do this, then they do that, then they do this, then they do that. And then he said, so if you have been a victim, please come forward. There's a safe space being provided to you where you can come forward and tell your story. That is what he said. Now, Coffee and Talk said, do I think TD Jakes has the right to strike people that speak against him? I think TD Jakes has the right to strike people that use his content. That's what it is. We as YouTubers, myself included, we as YouTubers get very comfortable using content outside of the guidelines of what we're allowed to use content for. And usually we don't get in trouble for it. But I think if a person violated the YouTube guidelines, he has a right to strike their channel. Yes. I don't know if Storm did or not. I didn't study it that hard. So I don't know. But if that happened, yes, he has a right. What's up, El Teddy? He absolutely has a right to do that. All right, moving on. So, Larry Reid posted the video on his YouTube channel and said, TD Jake's mentor speaks out, da 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 da. And of course, the title wants you to make the connection. Obviously, I did my video Christmas night and I too made a connection. I said, listen, I did the research. I Googled, I showed you guys on that video. You can go back to the video we did on Christmas night and I'll show you where I made the connection. And I showed where Manasseh Jordan absolutely was a mentee, of TD Jakes. It is on, you can find it on the internet. I didn't look it up. I didn't go by what Larry Reid said. I went and found it for myself. And I showed you, I'm not going to go through all that again, but I showed you guys that on my video I did Christmas night. So from there, we had a whole conversation. So yesterday, Larry Reid did another video where he came right out and said, listen, yes, Manasseh was speaking on his experience specifically with TD Jakes. Now, these are his words, not mine. He specifically said that. I'm going to let you hear from Larry Reid's mouth. I'm going to play the clip and let you hear what he said. I'm going to play Manasseh's video first and let you hear what Manasseh said. And then I'm going to let you hear what Larry Reid said last night. It was a longer video, but he edited it down to like a 2-minute clip. So I'm going to let you guys hear the 2-minute clip. And again, I got permission to play it. I'm going to let you hear the 2-minute clip. And then we'll talk about it. I still have some opinions and some views. So yeah. Mods, if you could please make sure that people are being respectful in the chat. This is not about just please make sure people are being respectful in the chat. Don't block anybody, El Teddy. Just remove any comments that I think you would think are inappropriate. I appreciate that. Okay. With that being said, let's listen to what Manasseh said. Also, El Teddy and Chef Don Don have both done really good videos in reference to grooming and what grooming looks like and the steps of grooming specifically within the church. I think El Teddy yesterday, his breakdown went beyond the church. He got into other aspects. He got into politics and the entertainment industry, but he spoke on grooming as well. So you guys make sure you guys are checking out those videos. El Teddy, if you could drop the link when you get a chance, you could drop the link to your video from yesterday and Chef Don Don's video. He did one today. Chef Don Don has been candid that he has been a victim of grooming in the church, and he has talked about it on his Patreon. He said he's not ready to talk about it publicly, which is his right. He don't have to talk about it at all, which is his right. So you can absolutely drop those links for me, please, so people can find those. Okay. Right. Larry did admit to getting permission before speaking. We're going to get to that. You're going to get to that. You're going to get to that. Okay. So let's look. We're going to listen to Manasseh's video first. Again, this is about a 5-minute clip. I'm not going to interrupt it. I'm going to play it uninterrupted so you can hear what he's saying. And then I'll come back and then we'll talk about, we'll get to Larry Reid's clip. And then, like I said, we'll open up the conversation. Let me do it like this. Do it like this. All right. Okay. Sorry, y'all. Yeah, I know I'm using a new device, so is this the right one? Okay. Yeah, that's the one I want. Okay. Okay. All right, this is Manasseh speaking. So let me hear his.
To me, I've been saying that in 2024, it's going to be the year of exposure. And God is exposing certain people. People that normally was able to use their power, their influence, and their money to silence people, those days are over. And before I hear people saying that, oh, this is sowing tear in the body of Christ, the Holy Spirit is a spirit of truth. So before you say, touch not my anointing, do my prophets no harm, that's a nescient statement because that scripture is referring to Israel. You're taking the scripture out of context. And if the Holy Spirit is a spirit of truth, then speaking truth is not sowing tears. It's bringing reformation and healing. In my 20s, I got to be around some of the biggest men and women of God. And I got to witness things because I got to see them without their armor. One of the things that really happens and seldom talk about is that there's something called grooming. And it happens in the Pentecostal church. It happens in many churches, but I'm referring to the Black church specifically. And what that means is that there'll be a bishop, a pastor, apostle, someone who has big conferences. Everybody knows, oh my God, they're the holy man of God. And they will pick their victims and they groom them. And it first goes through stage one where they ask questions. What are you into? What do you like? You need to tell daddy everything. And so they're using verbosity and they're using this type of garrulous narrative to try to make you feel comfort, to make you build comfort with their victim. And then from there, it goes into stage two. And stage two is where it begins to become sexual. And it first starts by either making facetious jokes, making little statements, innuendos. And then it goes into the questions of what turns you on? What do you like sexually? You need to tell me this because I need to know, because I need to be able to pray for you. So it's almost like a psychological power game that they're playing with you. And in your head, if you say something wrong, they project it on you. They body shame you. Oh, you're too sexual. Oh, look at your body. Oh, you're the one that's making me do this. Oh, you. And so you have that in the back of your head. And then you also have in their head of their dumb, misinformed followers who are pushing this predatory narrative because they're so in awe with either trying to be like them, either worshiping them, or not worshiping God, or worshiping their denomination or where they come from. And so they're not even there seeing with the eyes of truth, but they're there seeing out of carnality. And so they're sitting up there and they're protecting them. And the leader, the bishop, the pastor, they know this. And so they know and they feel invisible. Oh, I can get away with this. I just have to make a statement to my church. I just have to tell them. And they're never going to question. Why is it so many people? Why is it always coming up? Why is everybody lying? So everybody's lying. Where there's a mouse, there's mice. And then it goes into the third stage. And the third stage is where they try to become intimate with you. And if you do not allow this, they drop you. They treat you like you're nothing. And they abandon that young male or that young woman. But from my experience, I can only speak from a young male point of view. They abandon that young male and they treat them like they're nothing because they didn't acquiesce to what they wanted sexually. And they look for another victim. And they know they can get away with it because their followers are not people that love the Lord. They worship the pastor, they worship the bishop. So they're not seeking for truth. And so this is the day and age that we're in. And I still believe that there are believers that do not worship personality, so to speak. They don't care who you are. They don't care if you're bishop this, prophet this, apostle that. But they really love the Lord. And so they really are worshiping the spirit of truth, which is Jesus. And they really are about that. And so they can see past that. I want to say to victims that might not have a platform or might feel like you're going to be judged. You can't say nothing because this is what they try to tell you. You're going to be judged. You can't say nothing. You're sowing seed of tear. You know, God is the judge. Yeah, we know God is the judge, but God judges people also through legal systems. God judges people also through other people. There's a group of Christians and we're here and we believe in you and we're here to support you. And if you've been feeling in your heart that you can't say nothing, now's the time for you to speak out. There's still a remnant group of Christians that are not worshiping celebrities. They're not worshiping how big someone's conference is, who they are, or their name, or their notoriety, but they believe in truth, and they're here for you. And I'm not a victim, but I'm someone that is speaking truth to help victims that have experienced this to say, we see you. And there's a group of Christians, men and women of God, that are the true men and women of God that are here to pray for you. Some of the biggest monsters are right in front of your face, and they manipulate their pulpit to push their nasty agenda, and their followers are duplicitous to it.
All right, you guys. So sorry about that. I'm dog sitting. And he's a puppy, and we're trying to I want to make sure that he won't go out. And I think wait a minute, hold on.
It is, what is today?
Oh, wait a minute, Lord,
December
how did I do that?
27th,
Hold on, y'all. Wait a
2023.
minute, hold on.
There's a few more days left.
Oh Lord, I just started playing a whole nother video. I think that was Miss Cruiser. Miss Cruiser, don't strike me, girl. Don't strike me. I think that was Miss Cruiser's video. All right. So being a victim and having an experience are two different things. I can have an experience with something. Okay, so let's get into that. That's a good question, Miss Rambles. Ransom Rambles. Ransom Rambles says, wait, just 5 seconds ago, he said he could only speak from his experience. Now he was never a victim. Well, good morning, St. James. He does not consider himself a victim because he said no. And Larry Reid does explain that. We're going to play that clip in a second. But he does not consider himself a victim because he said no. I think what other people might consider a victim, that's another. Everybody has their own opinion of what they consider a victim is. Please hit the like button. Tracy said that the likes ain't matching. Tracy said the likes ain't matching. That's what my moderator said, that the likes ain't matching. If you guys, shout out to the 643 people in the room. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much. If you can hit the like button, and if you are new here, go ahead and subscribe. We have a good time over here, okay? We talk about these things. This is what we do. So if you guys could do that, I appreciate you. I might consider him a victim based on his story, which we don't know his whole story yet. He does not consider himself a victim because in his mind, I walked away. I said no. Based on what Larry Reid said, I can only go by what Larry Reid said. Based on what Larry Reid said, he was groomed. But when it got to that final step that he describes, right? That final part of the grooming, he said no. So in his mind, I'm not a victim because you didn't get me. So when he says I'm not a victim, that is what he means. And I'm going by what Larry Reid said. All of what I'm saying is via Larry Reid. So if you don't, if you're going to say, well, Larry Reid, who knows it? That's fine. Respect that. But Manasseh has trusted Larry Reid with telling his story for now. Larry Reid said that Manasseh will speak and will tell his story. And I feel like he'll probably do it on Larry Reid's platform, maybe his Patreon. Not sure, but I do feel like he's going to do it on Larry Reid's platform. And I want to also address Kim. Thank you for sharing. I'm sorry that you had that experience, and thank you for sharing that with us as well. Okay. So as you can tell from that clip, he never used the name TD Jakes. He never said TD Jakes. And so that is why a lot of people were like, well, he didn't say TD Jakes. He didn't say TD Jakes. TD Jakes, TD Jakes, And so Larry Reid came down yesterday and he spoke again. And I feel like he sort of cleared it up a little bit. Maybe, maybe not. But I feel like he sort of cleared it up a little bit. I'm going to play the second clip. And I'm going to see if this dog need to go out to the bathroom. I'm going to open the door for the dog. But the second clip is about 2 minutes long. So while you're listening to the clip, go ahead and hit that like button, okay? Being a victim and being victimized is not the same thing. That's true. And again, that's in Manasseh's mind, that is his definition. Like I said, our definition might be different. And this may be what he's telling himself to be able to move forward as well. You see what y'all understand what I'm saying? Right. Attempted bank robbery is still a crime. Right. I'm not saying, listen, if you were to act, if the story that he's telling is true, and I have to say that because I don't know none of these people personally. So if the story that he's telling is true, I would classify him as a victim. But maybe to help him process through whatever he went through, he can't see himself in that space. Do y'all know y'all understand what I'm saying? I think that might be what it is. But I personally, I would say he was a victim. If what he's saying is true. Just P, I don't disagree with you at all. And we're going to talk about that in a second. I don't disagree with that at all. And I'll talk to Miss Just P said, this might sound harsh, but why is everybody coming out with these stories and not naming people? Listen, I've told y'all that going back to the Christian Keys situation. I told y'all that. And I still feel the same way with this, but I'm gonna expand upon it in a second. Let me play this second clip and see if this puppy need to go to the bathroom.
He experienced it at the hands of Bishop T.D. Jakes, and he told me it was Bishop T.D. Jakes. This is not the only situation or the only person that has a testimony or story like this. For Manasseh, it was grooming, and the grooming was excessive, manipulative, and he did confront Bishop Jakes about it and how he was handled. I was instrumental in getting Prophet Manasseh and his father, Bishop Bernard Jordan, back talking. They were estranged at the time. He then began to get mentored by Prophet Hargrove. That mentorship started before him and his father was estranged. Then Hargrove died. Then Benny Hinn began to mentor Prophet Manasseh Jordan. For those of you that ask, he is not talking about Benny Hinn. He is talking about Bishop Jakes, who he went to afterwards. Because then Manasseh started having to fight a whole lot of things in the media, which you Google, you can find. And he sort of fell in the proverbial arms of Bishop T.D. Jakes. And when he did, instantly the grooming began. He wanted him to call him daddy. Now, mind you, Bishop Jakes can pick up the phone and call Bishop Jordan, but he wanted Manasseh to call him daddy. He began to question Manasseh about what was his struggles, what did he like, what was he into? Was he into men or was he into women? If he's into men, then what you like about this? If he's into women, what he began to get into, he was attracted to Manasseh, plain and simple. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But it was the way he went about it. Your sexual character is more important than your sexual preference. Bishop Jordan, right now, and his family is traumatized because for some of them, this is the first time they heard it. The whole family is traumatized, but the whole family going to be there for Manasseh because he's not standing on his own.
All right. So again, he did a longer live. If you go to his channel, he did a longer live last night. Maybe about hold on, y'all. I don't know why it keeps going to Cruz's video. But if you go to his channel, there's a longer video that he did last night, and then he clipped it into a 2-minute that 2-minute clip that I just played for you. So let me say this before we get into this conversation. Let me say this. For whatever reason, Manasseh has allowed Larry Reid to be his spokesperson. Larry Reid says that Manasseh came to him years ago with this story, and he has held his confidence until he was given permission to speak. And now he has been given permission to speak, and he's going to speak. He says that there are receipts, that Manasseh will tell his story. Like I said, I suspect he may do a tell-all, sit-down tell-all on Larry Reid's platform, whether maybe through Patreon or what have you. I don't know. He said in the longer, I'm not sure everything that was clipped out, but he said that they actually are interested in maybe doing a documentary. They are interested in other victims reaching out to tell their story, and not just necessarily about TD Jakes, but also about mega church pastors or what have you who have abused their power. Larry Reid said that he feels like going to the police would not necessarily be satisfactory. We know how big the TD Jakes family is down in Dallas. He doesn't feel like it would yield what they wanted or what they were looking for. Manasseh said that he chose to speak out finally after all of these years because of TD Jakes's sermon on Sunday. And that really was a Freudian slip. I wasn't trying to be funny. Because of his sermon on Christmas Eve, when he categorically denied everything and even went on to call people freaks and things of that nature. He said that triggered him. And that's what made him go live on his Instagram and do that first video. The first clip that we saw. It's very similar to what Cassie said in her lawsuit, where she said she was triggered by the speech that Diddy gave when he was accepting his Lifetime Achievement Award, and he said, "I want to thank Cassie for holding me down in the dark moments," or something to that effect. That's a paraphrase, not a quote. She said that triggered her, and that is what made her move forward with the lawsuit. So Manasseh is saying TD Jakes standing in the pulpit on Christmas Eve, categorically denying any of it, and then, calling people freaks and so forth. That is what triggered him and what made him say, okay, I'm ready to tell my story. Why he's going through Larry Reid, you would have to ask him. I don't know. When is he going to tell his full story? You'd have to ask him. I don't know. When they're going to drop receipts, how they're going to drop receipts, you have to ask them. I don't know. This is a reaction video. This is a reaction video to what Larry Reid said. Now, here's my opinion. And then, El Teddy, what time did you schedule your live for? I want to know how good I am on time. Here's my opinion. My opinion is the same as it was then, and it about the Christian Keys thing as it is now. If you ain't ready to name names and tell your story, then don't say nothing. And I know that's easy for me to say from where I sit because I am not a victim. Okay? I get that and I respect that. Thank you. I got it. I understand that. It's easy for me to say from where I sit because I'm not a victim. But from where I sit, as somebody who wants to know if these people are out here doing these things to our boys and our girls, our young men and our young women, then I think if you're going to tell it, tell it. If you're not going to tell it, keep talking to your therapist about it. And I'm not saying that to be funny or light. I'm serious because I think it is unfair. And I think it is what's the word I'm looking for? Disingenuous. I don't know if that's the word, but I think it's unfair. I'm going to stick with that one. I think it is unfair to put that out without dropping the receipts, without you telling your story firsthand. Larry Reid's platform is huge. Yep, Abby. Larry Reid has a huge platform in the mega church world and would have the most impact. Facts on facts on facts. And I really feel like when he was ready to sit down, process, tell the story in the way in which he felt comfortable with the person he felt comfortable talking to, showing the receipts he felt comfortable showing, I'm fine with that. I'm here for that. If you don't want to file a lawsuit, I respect that. A lot of people don't understand how hard that is for victims to go through a legal process. It is a lot. I respect that. But I do feel like he should tell it. If you're going to tell it, tell it. That's my opinion. What time is it? Okay, I have about 20 to 30 minutes. I will drop the link if you guys want to come up and say your piece. Again, you do not have to show your face on camera, but I do need to verify backstage that you're a real person so that we don't have any incidents. I do not have a problem with anybody disagreeing, but we're going to be respectful in how we speak to each other, how we speak to each other here and in the chat. So I will drop the link for I'm give you guys a few minutes to come on in and tell your story again, or give your opinion. I should say, not necessarily tell your story. You ain't got to tell your story, but give your opinion is what is a better way of me saying that. Give your opinion. Shout out to the 912 people that are in the room. If you could please, if you haven't done so already, please hit that like button. And if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. We have a good time here. It is what we do. You guys, you know, I'm working out this new computer. Hold on. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. I'm having trouble. Wait a minute. Hold on. Give me a second, y'all. I'm having some technical difficulties. How do I close this? Sorry, y'all. I opened something that I didn't mean to open. This is where me not knowing how to work a MacBook is a problem. Okay, hold on. Let me come back. Baby, come back. Oh, what did I do? Oh, shit. Okay, sorry, y'all. Here's where me not knowing how to work a MacBook is a problem. Okay, I'm trying to clip the link in here. We should trust but verify. Listen, you can take whatever you choose to take from this story. Okay, y'all. Here's where me not knowing how to use a MacBook is a problem. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Hold on, you people. It's like you people are peeping times waiting for a Christian to make a mistake. Okay, Kenham says it's like you people are peeping times waiting for a Christian to make a mistake. I recall I was minding my business. I was looking for nobody to make a mistake. Y'all, I'm trying to figure out how to drop this link in the chat, how to do this. Abby, shoot. Hold on. I'm trying to drop this link. Copy and paste is Control C, Control V. Thank you. Because look, I'm Control C, Control V. Okay, thank you. Because baby, I was struggling. All right. Control C. Now let me drop it over here. Control V. Thank you, my love. That didn't work. Hold on. Control V. That didn't work. Okay, hold on. Let me try. If I can't get it, I can't get it, y'all. I just have to play around with it later. But it is not letting me. Hold on. Let me see here. Control. You said Control P? Control C. Copy. All right. Control P. Nope. It's not working. Try Command. Oh, try Command. Okay. Sorry, y'all. For the people that are new here, y'all don't know me. I'm just getting used to this MacBook, y'all. I don't know how to use this MacBook. Okay, Command copy. All right, let's try this. Command paste. Nope, that didn't do it either. That's trying to make me save something. All right, y'all. We might not be able to do it this time because that ain't working either. I'm gonna try one more time. Command paste. Oh, well, that might be why. Command V. No, that's still not working. Let me try. Okay, let me try one more time. Command C and Command V. All right, Command C. Command V. It's not working. So it's user error. It's definitely user error. It's definitely something I'm not doing right. So I tried Control. I tried again. Yeah, I tried Control and I tried Command. Let me try one more time. If not, let me see if I can email it to somebody and email it to one of my mods and they can drop it in the chat. Let me just do that. Let me email it to Abby and El Teddy. I think both of them are here. Let me email it to Abby and El Teddy, and they can drop it in the chat. Okay. And then I'll play around with it. Sorry, you guys, it's user error. It is user error, and I don't have the mouse. I can do it with the mouse. I don't know how to do it without the mouse. I'm still learning, y'all. I'm still learning. My apologies. Okay, I just sent it to you guys, so you, Abby and El Teddy have it. Give them a second, and they'll drop it. And I'll play around with that. When I get home. I hope Larry don't get sued. Well, Larry says he has receipts. So if he has receipts, let me say this. One thing I know about Larry Reid, I don't know him personally, but one thing I know about Larry Reid. Thank you. El Teddy and Abby just dropped it in the link. Right. The mouse is my friend, St. James, and I left my mouse at home. I think I'm about to run out here to Target. I got to run to Target when I get off of here anyway. I think when I'm at Target, I might pick me up another one just to keep in my travel bag, child, because, baby, this is a mess. I don't know Larry Reid personally, but one thing I know about Larry, and I don't watch everything Larry Reid says, and I don't agree with everything Larry Reid says or with everything that Larry Reid does. But what I am going to say is this. Larry Reid has attorneys on speed dial. And I promise you that before Larry Reid did that video last night, he spoke to one of them. And he made sure that he was covered. Larry Reid is no fool. So I feel like whatever he said last night, he felt comfortable enough in saying it and felt that he was covered in what he was saying. Hey, little baby, what's up, my love?
Hello, how are you?
I'm great. Rants and Rambles, welcome. Hey, my love, I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing?
I'm good. Good morning. How you feeling?
I'm great. I'm feeling great. All right, little baby, get us started, and then Rants and Rambles, and then welcome, Nikki. How you doing, my love? Come on up.
I'm not really truly invested in any of this. I've just been surface watching, and I won't get invested in it. I don't see the purpose. From my vantage point, all I'm seeing are people who are indulging in the salaciousness of this and trying to get and loving the attention, and even maybe to some degree possibly capitalizing off of it. I'm not saying that people did not have any sort of abusive experiences, because I wasn't there. I don't know these people from a can of paint. I can't say that. And I'm not going to be one of those people who are like, how dare you tell someone when they should and shouldn't speak and who they should and shouldn't speak to. But I, like you, Really B, I do not like people throwing out innuendos and really you're leaving the public to do your dirty work. That's what it is. You don't want to name the name. You want the public to name the name. You're leaving the public to do your dirty work. You're trying to circumvent doing the job yourself. So you want everyone in the comments to write it out for you so it absolves you of any responsibility. I don't like that. And again, I don't know Bishop Jakes, but at the same time, it is truly unfair to just throw this stuff out here and just leave it up to interpretation. I personally, I don't like that. And that's, to me, that's what I see.
I got you. Thank you, Mims. And yes, y'all, we are trying to get to 15,000 subs. Listen, we only need 400 more subscribers to get there by the end of the year. I'm just saying, it's 1,000 of y'all in here. I mean, are all 1,000 of y'all subscribed? I'm just saying, let's see if we can get to 15K before New Year's. We'll have a hell of a celebration. All right. Thank you so much. Rants and Rambles, come on up. I mean, say what you say your piece. I'm sorry. I lost track of what I was trying to say.
For me, this is I don't know, I get a little irritated about it. A little bit of background. I grew up in the church. I have a really big church family. One. Also, I was molested as a kid. So I take allegations of grooming very seriously. And I do know that in the church, there are some pastors who have done some heinous things. I'm very vocal about that. So that is why this irritates me. It's this very half-ass up. Oh, I'm going to tell. Oh, you'd be shocked. Wow, like what Christian did when he went and confirmed, and then he kind of liked the comment that said it wasn't Tyler Perry, and then he turned around and said, "Oh no, but I didn't exonerate any." It's that chaos and confusion. While meanwhile, there are actual predators out there using the cloth to prey on children. That bothers the fuck out of me. Excuse my language,
It's okay.
but it really gets to me because you're not helping. You're not solving any problems. If anything, you're causing more problems because you could have, because let's be very clear, to call somebody a predator is a call to action, right? Like we want something to happen to this person who we view and deem a predator. So you could have an innocent person, not saying that TD Jakes is innocent, not saying he's guilty. I'm just saying because there's this confusion out there, you could have an innocent person harmed by your inactions and your confusion that you're causing. So either say it or keep it on the playground. But don't do this half-ass, oh, I'm going to tell one day, and when I tell y'all, what's going to be shocking? I don't need that fucking shit. Don't sensationalize somebody being a fucking predator. Don't sensationalize that. This is not something that, we sip and gossip on afternoon tea. This is somebody's real life. Like, they are messed up, and they will be messed up for a while, if ever, if they don't take themselves home.
Listen, I told you guys I agree with what you're saying. If you're gonna say it, say it. I do have a problem. Like I said, it ain't personal against anybody, but I do have a problem with the I know, but I'm gonna tell you later. I know, follow the breadcrumbs. I know, but look at the stars aligning in the sky. No, if you're gonna tell it, tell it. And if you're not ready to tell it, I'm okay with that. I don't feel like anybody should be forced to tell their story, but if you're gonna tell it, tell it. And I agree with you on that 100%. Trey, I'm sorry, Nikki, you were next, babes. What's up?
Hey, y'all. So I agree with everything that has been said. I agree with everything that has been said thus far. I actually think that it should be a crime if a former victim or current victim is aware and they don't say something because you're putting other people at risk. It's the same thing when I watch the news and I hear about all of these people who were let out on bond or, they, whatever legalities they were able to get through to where they're back out on the streets. And then when, another crime happens, everybody is looking shocked. You need to say something. And I feel like people should really look at the Meg Thee Stallion case. All of that confusion, all of that mess and chaos and who she slept with, it's because she originally lied. It was never a doubt to me that Tory did it, but I understood why questioning someone's character came into play. Because the main reason all of this happened is because y'all had some sexual activity going on, but didn't want to say anything. I don't know TD Jakes. I listen to his sermons quite often. I just think that everyone needs to take out people's titles, whether that be Dr. Jackie or Bishop TD Jakes or what they call him, the Pied Piper, R. Kelly. None of that matters. We are all people and everyone is capable of doing horrible things. So I don't think that, that whole innocent until proven guilty, unfortunately, I think that time has passed. I think if enough people are saying something, you need to look into it. And honestly, I know that the FBI, they watch YouTube and everything. That's how they get most of these dumb rappers. I think they need to pull Christian Keys. They need to pull this other young man. They need to pull them into question. And they need to make it some type of law where they can go through their belongings, go through their cell phone, go through their laptops to see all of this incriminating evidence. And if it's not there, charge them. If it is something there, let's get these people off the street. Maybe we don't need their testimony if we could just have their actual, whatever text messages or whatever recordings they have. Like if you're not ready to come forward, that's fine. We just need the evidence.
Exactly. Trey, I'm sorry you dropped off. I don't know if we were taking too long, but come on back. Official King Jives, shout out to a quick Official King Jives. I watched your video last night as well. He covered it on his channel. He said, here's a question. Why start a narrative that has nothing to do with this just for more views? I've never heard of Manasseh and Jakes. Listen, I'm going to defer to you because you cover this. This is your wheelhouse, sir. So if you're saying you've never heard this story, I say everybody go over and watch King Jives' video from last night and get more insight on what he's talking about because, hey, it's a question. It is a question.
Can I say something real quick?
You can.
Okay, I just wanted to push back on what Nikki said, just a part of what she said,
That's
only
not
about
Jives. That's not the
um,
real King Jives. Well, if it's not the real King Jives, then mods, get it out of here. If it's not the real King Jives, mods, get it out of here. Please verify first, though. Verify and see if that's King Jives first. If it's not King Jives, block it. Okay, go ahead, Rants and Rambles.
no, she had mentioned earlier, if people don't speak up, they feel like they should be charged. And as somebody again who went through it, and I didn't speak out eventually. Like there is a reason why. Like there's so much self-doubt that you go through. There's so much like you gotta come to terms with it, and it takes a while. And some people never, and that's what I was saying earlier, like some people never really get over it or can move past it, and they live within that trauma. For me, it was nightmares, like little nightmares. Me recalling it. What happened if I tell? What happened if I say something? How would this react? How would my family react to it? It's bothersome, and some people cannot overcome that trauma, and they don't tell. I like me personally. I feel bad for not telling my mom when it happened because that allowed that person to get away, and God knows what He has done since then. But
I'm
I
so
realized
sorry that happened to you. And I'm so sorry to cut you off, but just to clarify, I meant like the ones who are coming out on social media, getting all of this firestorm going.
oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, not in your situation. I've been victimized myself, but yes, I'm so sorry that happened to you. So no, let me clarify for people like Christian Keys who are coming out
Yeah,
and saying
that's
all of this, but not,
that's
like if
what
it's
yeah,
really
that's got
going
me riled
on,
up
you
too.
got to say
Right,
something if you're saying
absolutely,
it on social media.
absolutely.
All right. Be woke. I want to thank you. Acknowledge the super chat. The issues needs to be addressed. The way things are dribbled out is disrespecting and manipulative. We verified that is King Jives. I don't think that the person who said that meant any harm. They said that they thought that King Jives would have a check mark. We don't have check marks on YouTube, so I think you might be confusing Instagram, and even over on Instagram now, that's the whole thing. So there's no check mark. So thank you to my mods for verifying. Sorry, King Jives, for the confusion, but that is the real King Jives, and that is a question that he asked. And again, he did do a video on it last night. Now, Jay Walsh has said that is not correct, that Larry Reid has spoken on his platform before in reference to Manasseh and TD Jakes. I don't watch every video or everybody, but I know Jay Walsh is a trusted member of this platform, and so he says that there was a video done. I believe him on that. I'll drop the link one more time if anybody wants to come up, and then we're gonna get ready to shut it down. Again, shout out to the 1K in the chat. We're trying to get to 15K. We're trying to mods, can you drop the link for me one more time, please, Evie or El Teddy? Trying to get to 15K before the end of the year. We got 400 more to go. It's 1,000 of y'all in here. Are all 1,000 of y'all subscribed to me? Are all 1,000 of y'all subscribed to me? I'm just asking for a friend. Jonathan coming up again. Jonathan is a pastor and a friend to the platform. I'm bringing you up now.
Hey, ReallyB.
Oh, I'm sorry. You can pray. Okay, my bad. I'm not big time like that. I know about the great check mark over to the That's what big time people like King Jives with them 100K. I'm just trying to get to 15. I'm just trying to get to 15. My apologies. Okay. Hey, Jonathan, how you doing, my love?
Hey, I just wanted to come up and just apologize for the other night, because I could be insensitive on some things. And I didn't understand the whole grooming process until after watching El Teddy. I just didn't grow up like that or experience that, in the ministry or seeing that in my denomination too much. So it's kind of, my view is kind of tainted sometimes. The thing that gets me is that it is hard pastoring, because your job really is you're trying to win souls for Christ. And when things like this happen, it gets tough because everybody turns against the church or pastors, or or they try to lump us all in the same category. So sometimes I can be a little bit irritated and get insensitive when things like this happen. Like Rance and Ramble stated, I think that was what I was trying to point out the other night, is that, just say, tell folks when stuff like this happen. But of course, you can't, make victims come out, until they're comfortable with coming out. But like I said, you have some that are just, especially some that are not victims, that are just putting in input, that know that stuff is going on, and they don't come out. And that doesn't do anything for the victim, and it doesn't do anything for, the pastor as well. Because ultimately that pastor needs help. If that's the situation, they need to be removed, and they need to get help, but that's my whole thing. So I just want to apologize to everybody if I came off very insensitive the other night, because I can be, yeah. So that's it.
Well, so first of all, I want to say this. Thank you. I love you. Jonathan, I consider you like a big brother. We have links in common. So I know your heart, I know your spirit. You weren't just somebody coming up here like, yeah. So I understood that where you were coming from. Also, you are a pastor, and it hits close to home. On a similar level as a teacher, I've had situations as a teacher. There are things that I did when I first started teaching that I would never do now. And I never thought of it until, you see things differently. And so I understand it can hit home and it can be a little sensitive, because as somebody who has care over children, it definitely puts you in a position to sometimes be very sensitive about, because the first time we hear a story about a teacher doing something inappropriate, then it's like, oh my gosh, all teachers. So as a pastor, I understood where you were coming from and your passion and your point of view. I appreciate the acknowledgement and the apology. And I appreciate that El Teddy was able to explain it in a way that, because sometimes that's what it takes. Everybody can't explain things the same way. Welcome to the platform, King Jives. How you doing?
Well, thank you so much. I do appreciate this opportunity, and greetings to everybody on here. I just wanted to jump on just to say this really quick. And I appreciate everybody who has been sharing their stories and telling their stories and things, because telling your stories also opens up opportunities for people who are scared to even say what has happened to them, to just be open to what can save somebody else's life. So last night, as you saw, when I was talking about this, I just found, and it was not me taking a dig at nobody. I'm a commentator like everybody else,
Right.
and I find problems with people trying to take a narrative and go a different direction just for the sake of see me, because I'm like, where did this whole Manasseh TD Jakes? Because I promise you, um, I've never heard of this story before. I promise you, I'm not even being funny at all. I've been in church my entire life. I've never heard of Bishop Jakes doing anything to Manasseh. And I'm like, this whole situation with Jakes and Carlton has been brewing for a minute since this man has been on his deathbed. And I'm sick of hearing. I love Bishop Pearson, I do. But this whole narrative about being mad, it's just been brewing and fizzling since then. And I'm like, now we're throwing in Manasseh Jordan in here, saying Manasseh Jordan was groomed by Bishop Jakes. I'm like, come on now. Like okay, I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. I'm gonna do a show later. Um, I get it. We're talking about Bishop Jakes at Diddy's parties. Okay, Bishop Jakes is a pastor. He shouldn't be at quote unquote these type of parties. I get it. But now we want to throw in here he's grooming people. I'm like, what if it is the case, let me just say that. If it is the case, just provide the receipts. Because they love, because on my show, They love to ask me for the receipts, and I have to provide them because again, people don't want to believe it. So I have to put it out there, and I have to provide the receipts. So I'm requiring that from everybody else too. Where's the receipts? Where's the receipts of this man actually grooming or saying this stuff? Because what I heard from Manasseh, if he's not going to say, hey, Bishop Jakes did this to me, and this is actually coming out of somebody else's mouth, I don't want to hear that. Because this person, Manasseh, needs to say, just like we're saying Christian Keys, because Christian Keys gave innuendos to who he was talking about. Because when Christian Keys was saying he's a billionaire that just recently put out a documentary, that was Tyler Perry. Christian Keys was saying certain things that let us know he was talking about Tyler Perry. This man, Manasseh Jordan, when he was doing his video, what that was just recently put out, he never said anything like that. He never said nothing like that. And I'm not taking those sides, but I'm like, listen, I'm all for going in on somebody, but let's not do this. Because again, and I said this last night, and it started to piss me off. When Larry was going through all of this stuff like this, they was going to hell ends to try to cover this stuff up. Oh, it's a lie, it's a lie, it's a lie, it's a lie. But now you're doing the same thing to somebody else, and it's not right. And it's not fair. It's not fair. Now, I don't know if the people agree, but it's not right and it's not fair. Because when all that stuff was going on with Daryl Moore, and Daryl Moore then will put, because, listen, people don't even understand the backstories and the back end of what a lot of people had to do, or had to go through with all this foolishness. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. I agree with you from the point of view of just drop the receipts, put a name on it, and drop the receipts. I think I said this earlier. I don't know if you were in here. And I said the same thing about the Christian Keys piece. I think it is unfair to drop the breadcrumbs and not let people face their accusers. I'm not saying that anybody is guilty or innocent, because I don't know, but I do feel like I agree with you that they should drop it. That's how I feel. And I said the same thing about Christian Keys. I still feel like Christian Keys needs to put a name on it. I don't like the breadcrumbs. I don't like the breadcrumbs. But I do agree that they should put a name on it. But for whatever reason, Manasseh has trusted Larry Reid to tell his story, and for right now, that's his spokesperson. So I'm not saying, I understand what you're saying. I understand your point of view on it, but that's where we are with it. And you're right. You're just a commentator. I know I'm just commentating as well. What they put out, we talking about it.
And that's all we can do. And we're just giving commentary on what we see. And I was saying last night, I'm just being unbiased about it, about all of this, because I'm not picking any sides. I'm just saying this is what we see. Let's talk about it, give some commentary, and let's move on.
All right. And you said you're going to do a show later on tonight?
Yeah, I'll do a show later on tonight.
So y'all, for the people that are saying this doesn't sound like King Jives, y'all just go over to King Jives. I don't know what doesn't it sound like him to me.
I don't understand why people...
I don't know what it sounds like. King Jives to me.
Okay, wait. Do I need to turn my camera on?
There it is. Thank you. Show your face. There you go.
It's me.
Y'all don't believe that King Jives will be in my chat? Is that what it is?
It's me.
I don't know. But thank you for coming through. Yeah, just again, we're talking about it. And again, I just would like them to drop it. That's all. That's it. If you want to do it in Patreon, do it in Patreon. But tell the story and drop the receipts. I think that's what's fair. So if y'all want to hear more of what King Jives has to say, he's gonna be on his channel. Mods, make sure y'all drop King Jives' link in the chat. He'll be on his channel and he'll be speaking more of it. He did a video last night on it as well, going through some of what he just spoke on. He did it last night. So and I watched a little bit of everybody's video last night. Little baby, what's up, babe?
Yeah, I just want to say one more thing. I know people are like, people have the right to tell their story how they want to tell it, and they are absolutely correct. But my issue with the telling of these stories is no one's telling these stories to help. You're not telling these stories to heal. Again, you're telling these stories to be salacious.
Agreed.
So I'm trying to understand with this whole people need to tell their stories how they want to tell it. Well, if you're not going to the authorities, if you're not trying to build a community to help heal people, why are you telling it? It just seems like you're being messy.
Well, I can't tell nobody how to tell their story. I mean, if I were a victim, I wouldn't want anybody to tell me when and how I can tell my story. I'm saying as a person on the outside that wants to make a decision, I guess that's I don't think that's too much to ask. But again, I ain't gonna tell nobody how to tell their story. You know, you tell
But
your story how
again,
you
it's
tell your
not.
story.
I am gonna have to tell someone how to tell their story because again, if you're not going to help in any situation, like try to put a stop to it, put this person behind bars, or again, help others who have gone through it to heal them, then yes, I need you to not talk about it. Because really, it just sounds like you're being messy. And and again, no one's really saying names. We're just throwing out allegations because one piece of email came out. There's no substantiated evidence. It just seems like a pile on. It just seems real easy. And again, not to say that these things do not happen, because they absolutely positively do. Grooming happens in every way, shape, fashion, or form. Children are molested. They don't tell adults. They are scared because there's that understanding that this is an adult, you're a child. You don't speak out against adults. You don't speak up to adults, etc., etc. But at the same time, you're not saying this to heal. You're not saying this to help in any way. You're just saying it because something has some legs and let me hop on it.
Well, see, a lot of people, if I could jump in really quick, a lot of people are, as I'm seeing now, are doing this because, it's getting some traction. And I do agree with you, little baby. It's for the clicks and the views, and nobody's being healed from none of this. That's why I'm questioning, why is this being done? Like, why is all this stuff being thrown in here? And is this really real? Because I'm like, like, if we're not going to really have factual stuff out here, and this is not in a sense to heal, and then the whole we're going to love on them, and I'm just like, wait a minute, this whole situation just sounds convoluted and messed up, because just throwing this out here, this man didn't say this, but it's coming out of your mouth saying that he said this, and I'm like, but he's grown enough, man enough, and he has his own platform to say, boo bop skip, or whoever it was who touched him, just say what you need to say. Like, who needs a mouthpiece? Like Manasseh Jordan has his own platform, and I'm quite sure he's well aware that he can say whatever he needs to say. And if he's so-called this multi-millionaire, just say, hey, Bishop Jakes groomed me, Bishop Jakes touched me, this happened with me and Bishop Jakes. Don't sit out here and put little innuendos of, you didn't say no name, but this person over here is going to say all the evidence. It gets real messy, and it just looks like this becomes like a narrative to just start doing some extra stuff. And then you come out here, I want to retell you about my story about when I was molested. I'm like, come on now. Now it becomes sensationalized, and it feels like we're sensationalizing being molested and groomed, and that is not what it needs to be, because people actually have been hurt by this stuff and damaged and traumatized. And this is not come watch my video, come watch my movie. This is not that. People have been damaged, and actually some people have killed themselves because of this. And this type of behavior and doing this type of stuff is not okay.
Okay, I just want to say one quick thing. ReallyB, I know you really trying to run. I promise you, girl. It's gonna be quick.
No, I'm good. I'm good for about another 20 minutes. Mods, drop the link one more time. Kim wants to come up and speak, and she spoke earlier. If you don't mind, I got about 20 more minutes. So go ahead, say what you got to say, babe.
Okay. To piggyback on everything that was just said, it is, you have to sometimes ask yourself, like, is what I'm about to say, what I'm about to do, is it going to be helpful or harmful? Now, I agree with Lil Baby. Yes, there is a way to tell a story. Now, if Kim Porter would have spoken sooner, she might still be here. When you hold secrets, if you know what they were saying in her phone, the secret phone, and all of that stuff, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that. I just always question people who come to the internet before they go to the police. Now, it would have been different if Christian Keys, or I can't pronounce the gentleman's name, Masani?
Manasseh.
Manasseh. Ooh, I got that all wrong. If they would have gone to the police first and then to perhaps give themselves some extra protection, let the masses know, but you still need to put a name on it. I know people who have been falsely accused of SA, and it was the assault of children, and they were released like after 10 years. That person is not the same. He's not the same. I feel like if Bishop Jakes is in TD, I almost said TD. Oh yeah, what's his name? TP. If any of them, if they are homosexuals, that's not a crime. That's not a problem. If you are grooming people, if you are using your influence and your fame and power and wealth, that needs to come out. It is something wrong with people who are getting online and putting down breadcrumbs and not speaking the name. Because I think back to that series on Netflix, 13 Reasons Why. And the main character, you go to your counselor, you hemming and hawing all around it. You got a tape recorder, you recording 13 tapes to try to make people feel bad. Girl, if you don't just come out and say it, like, say, if you're going to go through the trouble of doing these recordings, recording people, going to the counselor, what do you want people to do with this information? What can they do with someone in the church? People are like this. You can't do anything with that. So what it's like, are they trying to dismantle, the organization in some sick social media way? I don't know. But I think that the police need to step in and bring these people who are dropping these little clues, bring them into question.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Again, you guys, I told you guys from the beginning. I said it with Christian Keys. I'm saying it with this. If you're gonna say it, say it. I think I just don't think it's fair, whether you like TD Jakes or not. I don't think it's fair to put stuff out there without the receipts. I just don't. I don't. And I said, just like I said, I'm gonna keep repeating myself. I'm bringing you guys the information. You do with it what you want. You can go look at the full video over on Larry Reid's channel. You can make your own opinions. And everybody has a right to that. But I just think that for the public, I just think it is unfair to drop these breadcrumbs and not let people face their accuser. And if it comes out that the receipts are there, then we'll talk about that then. We're going to talk about the receipts. We're going to talk about all of that. But I just think until then, I do think I think it's unfair, right? Like Love JJ said, you can ruin somebody's life. Look at what is happening to TD Jakes. Let's remember this whole thing started over an unsubstantiated anonymous email. That's where all of this stuff started. That a YouTuber got an email saying Cassie is cooperating with the FBI. She's turned over a USB port and a burner phone that has information that links big time people to participating in Diddy's X parties, and TD Jakes' name was one of the names that was said, right? That is where all of this started. I need people to know that this started from an anonymous email.
That's very true.
Alleged anonymous email that was sent to a YouTuber, and it went viral. That is where all of this has started. So at this point, no one, to my knowledge, has come forward and said, yes, I was a victim and this is what happened to me. I have not seen that. I haven't seen that. And when it happens, I'll talk about it. Trust me. Charles Boleyn said not true. So tell me what's not true. Tell me what's not true. Because if there's something out there that I'm missing, you tell me. You tell me. Thank you, King Jives dropped off. Thank you for being up here. Thank you for sharing. Again, you guys, my mods dropped the link to his channel as well. El Teddy dropped the link to his channel. Who else came through? I saw Thais report. He did a video last night. Please drop the link to Thais' channel. I saw my brother Dev. Y'all go ahead and drop the link to Pam's channel. Y'all know that's her better half. Y'all drop the link to Pam Intellect. The minute there's a lawsuit, you know Pam on it. Pam is gonna be on it. There's somebody I know I'm forgetting, so charge it to my head, not my heart. Oh, Chef Don Don. Y'all link drop Chef Don Don. There's 1,100 people in the chat. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you could please hit the like button. And if you could please, if you are not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 15,000. So we are less than we are about 400 away. We're about 400 away. With that being said, you guys, after we leave here, we're going to hop on over to El Teddy's channel where he is going to, again, he did a really great breakdown yesterday on grooming, and he is going to continue the conversation over on his channel in about 15 minutes. We're going to be over there at his channel in about 15 minutes. I dropped the link one more time if anybody else had. I saw Kim ask for the link. I dropped the link for you, babe, but I didn't see you come up. So if anybody else has anything else to share, if you came in late, let me just recap real quick before we get off of here. If you came in late, Larry Reid did a video last night where he specifically said that Manasseh Jordan was speaking on TD Jakes, that Manasseh has shared his experience with TD Jakes. He said he was groomed. These according to Larry Reid. He was groomed by Jakes, and that he has the receipts and he will share his story at a later date. And so we are speaking on those accusations. And again, I reiterate, I have seen no receipts. El Teddy has dropped the link one final time, one more time for the get down. If anybody has anything they want to add or share, thank you, St. James. It was a very good conversation. I was over on St. James' channel the other day talking to Color Purple, so y'all check that video out. I shared it on my channel. Here he come. Hey, my love. Hey, Thais. What's up, my love?
Hello. And listen, I don't like coming on early in the morning LA time because I sound like Teddy Pendergrass in the morning. I really do. Listen, let me say this. Everything that people do is strategic. Really be. We all do things strategically, whether we know it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Like someone coming on somebody's channel that they never come on their channel before, when they see that they have 1,000 people in the chat, that is strategic. If you ain't never been on somebody's channel, you lurking in the bushes, or you never been there, and you see somebody got 1,000 people in the chat, and now you want to come up and be like, hello, hi, that's strategic. Let's keep it a buck.
Thais, I'm not doing this with you.
Let's keep it a buck. Now, with the thing with Manasseh Jordan and Larry Reid speaking for him, he must have had consent from Manasseh Jordan to speak for him.
He did. He said he did. He did.
Okay, he had consent. Okay, so Larry Reid speaks. You cannot have all of these receipts formulated on the same night. What if the receipts are coming tomorrow? What if the receipts are coming next week? Like, this information just dropped last night, and I don't know how everybody wants, Olivia Pope dossier already ready to go. Maybe they're going to do it this week. Maybe they're going to do a documentary. But like I said, everything is strategic. And I can't stand people being the devil's advocate because maybe they're not the ones that got the scoop or going to be able to do the scoop. So now I'm going to be the opposite of what everybody else is doing.
Hey, Mister. I'm
Like if you're going to be the devil, if you're going to be the devil's advocate, be the devil's advocate because you really want to be the voice of something else, not because I'm upset because listen, I'm not going to be able to use this angle for my benefit this time.
Let me say this. I do, and I said this earlier in my live. Larry Reid has attorneys on speed dial. I do not believe that he would have done that video if he did not have what he said he had and if he was not legally covered. Let me be very clear. I 100% believe that Larry Reid has receipts. I 100% believe that at some point Manasseh is going to sit down and tell his story. Like I said earlier, probably on Larry Reid's platform, maybe on his Patreon. I 100% believe all of that. But I still believe that if you're going to drop the breadcrumbs, I think it is unfair to drop the breadcrumbs and not put it out there because people, you are affecting, you affecting people. But I do feel like I agree that there's no doubt in my mind that Larry Reid has receipts. There's no doubt in my mind because he would not have been that blatant and that blunt if there were none. I 100% believe that. He said that he wants to do a documentary. So I believe that. I 100% believe that. But I think two things can be true at the same time, that I can believe that Larry Reid has receipts, but I also feel like he should drop them. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's true. Listen, like I said, everything is strategic. Some of these bloggers got their start by dropping documentaries about their life and what they went through in church and denominations, right? That's how they got their claim to fame. They came their claim to fame by doing many documentaries about their lifestyle and their church and their denomination that they constantly drag day in and day out. So it's just a situation whereas time will tell how this is going to go about. Now, according to what I understand, grooming is not necessarily a crime, right?
Right.
So they say grooming is not a crime per se. So this has to be for exposure purposes. Because he said he was not essayed, ReallyB. He was not essayed or, there was nothing like that.
That's why he doesn't consider himself a victim, because he said
Right.
that he said the grooming took place, but when it got to the action part of it, he said no. Right.
So at this point, all this would be for exposure and to corroborate the claims that are already out there and maybe to help somebody else come forward. Because sometimes when people see, okay, somebody is giving a sound, like, well, maybe I can come and give a sound now. And maybe that will help this case, because everybody's been asking, where are the people? Where are the victims? And now we got somebody that's stepping forward, and now you want 1 million receipts. And I'm not talking about you, sis. I'm just saying the general consensus of everybody, like, y'all want a whole file ready to go in 24 hours. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. I understand.
This is gonna be a mess, but
I get you.
This is gonna be a mess. Sis, I love you and I thank you for having me on. Listen, I gotta get up. I gotta go live because I just feel like being messy this morning. I really do. Oh, I feel like being messy boots. I feel like shaking up YouTube this morning, and I think I'm gonna get up, put my good wig and my glasses on, and I'm gonna shake YouTube completely to bed this morning. I love you, ReallyB. I will be here if you need me.
Thank you, sweetheart. You have a good day. Thank you for your patience, Tracy. What you have to say, my love?
Hey, ReallyB, how you doing, girl?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, y'all. I'm at work, so I just wanted to say something real quick. I feel two ways about it. On one side, I feel like, yeah, we can't tell the person how to feel or what to put out or anything like that. Sometimes saying something makes a person feel good on the inside, even if they're not being as detailed as the average person will want. But then I also feel like, well, don't say anything if you're not going to warn nobody else about what you experience at the same time. So it's just like, I don't really know how I feel when it comes to the situation, because if it was me particularly, I would tell it all, because I would definitely be thinking of it as, I have daughters, I have nieces, I have nephews, I have younger people around me, or even adults. I have other people that's probably was where I was at, and I would want to just tell it because I wanted them to warn them. Even if people don't listen to it, at least I put it out there and I said, hey, this is what happened to me. This is who did whatever to me. And I just want to warn you before you get yourself in that situation and not realize what you're going to get yourself into. So that's why it's like, I don't know.
Thank you, my love.
I don't really know how I feel. I just feel both ways, but I don't know how I feel about it. I'm just confused when it comes to it because that's somebody's life that you could potentially be ruining without saying a name. And social media is the public, man. You know how social media do when it comes to people. Blaming. It get bad.
Sir James, one of my faithful, he said, listen, we don't need receipts. The damage has been done. Wasn't that the point? I'm paraphrasing because it's already gone. And I said, well, if that was the point, if the point was to damage TD Jakes, then you are absolutely correct. Because here's the reality.
Right.
The reality is it's going to always be that caveat, right? I'm not talking about the faithful followers of the Potter's house and all of that, but for the general public that's on the outside looking in, that's going to always be the situation, right?
Right.
So I agree, and if that was the goal, then the message was received. But I don't think it's going to stop here.
Me neither.
Do I have time for one more call in?
I'm gonna go back and listen because I don't want to take up all your time.
No, you're fine. I have 10 minutes. Hey, boo, what's up, Aaron? That's my boo right there. Aaron, while you became a member, you said you were going to become a member, and here you come, my love. Thank you.
Aaron is messy, child. I'm just playing. I love Aaron, but Aaron, you messy, child.
He calls me auntie, so that's my nephew. He messy, but listen. Every family need one, right? Every family need that messy nephew.
Okay, I'm finna drop down. I'm gonna finish listening till they wrap up. See you later,
Thank
ReallyB.
you so much. I do have 10 more minutes because we're gonna head over to El Teddy's at 11:45. I have 10 more minutes. So can Amaz drop the link one more time? I think somebody wanted to call in. I have time for one. I do have time for one more call. Aaron is also a YouTuber, you guys. He does celebrity news and gossip, and he reviews shows. So y'all check out Aaron Wiles out. Hey, Miss Honey. That's another YouTuber, my one of my boo things. Y'all check out Miss Honey. She reviews shows. She's sort of under construction right now, but she's doing Raising Canaan. Thank you, Thais, again for the super chat. Mwah! Thank you so much, my love. Ebby reviews. Y'all know about Ebby, but Ebby dropped the link. So somebody asked about calling in. If you wanted to call in, Ebby dropped the link. You can call in. I have, like I said, I got 10 more minutes before I'm shutting it down. I have 10 more minutes. Okay, here it is. Okay, hold on. Give me a second, love. Give me a second. All right. Welcome to the platform. Love JJ. What's going on?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I appreciate you putting me up on the call. I appreciate that. This is actually my first, thank you. This is actually my first time calling. So all of this stuff with TD Jakes, Christian Keys, and, a few other, that's been going on for the last few weeks. My take on all of it is I think I'm more concerned about the damage that it can cause to innocent people. Mm-hmm. And no one, from what I've been seeing in the different channels and in the different, YouTube channels, no one is forcing people to say you need to handle it this way or that way. No one's saying that. The dangerous part that I see actually is that Christian Keys, for example, he's playing the game of guess who. He's playing guess who with people. It's like saying, I saw a guy walking down the street with a tracksuit on, and there's two dudes. One guy might have a black one on, and the other might have a red one on. and the guy with the tracksuit assaulted me. You need to be specific. Was it the guy in the black tracksuit, or was it the guy in the red tracksuit? Because all this stuff that I've been, you know, seeing, and give him time and he can say it in his time and all this other time, there's nothing honorable, there's nothing respectable in making accusations for anybody on anyone, because at this point we're all guilty of something. Anybody can accuse us of anything. And so I'm looking at it this way. I'm not a fan of TD Jakes. I don't follow him. I'm not a religious person. I left the church many years ago. That's not the issue here. But what I'm saying is that this can be a dangerous situation where you can ruin someone's life just by the mere accusation. So these people that say TD Jakes did A, B, and C, he was at whatever party, TD Jakes can go to whatever party he wants to. He can get his freak on, whatever, do whatever you want to. We're all human. Do whatever you want to. But the issue is, for many people, is the deceit and the deception. And he's profiting off that. Brother been profiting off of deceit and deception for years, and that's another topic. But in terms of the essay and the touching, and the last thing I'm going to say before I get off here is about the grooming. That term is being thrown around just too loosely, because we're at a point now where we're saying that, you know, there are actually good women out there. There are actually good men out there who are actually mentors to young men and young women who actually have good intentions for those people. But when you just say he's grooming and she's grooming this person, that's putting everyone in one basket. And so I think we need to be careful with our words, our terminology, because we, you know, have this microwave mentality where, you know, everything, you know, gets cooked at one time. We need to be very careful with that. So all I'm going to say is that Christian Keys, all those fellas who might be saying that TD Jakes did this, that, and the other, playing this game of guess who and where's Waldo, it's very dangerous. I appreciate you taking my call. You have a good day.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming up. Miss Toby, thank you. Thank you, my love. Thank you for the super chat. She said, great live, really be. Thank you. It was a really great conversation. I just want to say again, before I let my love, Miss Honey, speak, I as a teacher, again, what he just said, I understand 100%. As an educator, as somebody that comes into contact with children all the time, again, there are things that I did at the beginning of my career that I would never even think of doing today. Like, for example, when I would have kids in my classroom and it would just be me and them, whether it was for tutoring, whether it was just a conversation, and I would have my door closed. I would never do that today. Sometimes, depending on the situation, I would bring another teacher in the room with me to witness the conversation, right? Even something like breaking up a fight. You know, we've been told don't put our hands on the kids because they could say, hey, you touched me, you know, your hand touched me. So it's a whole different thought process. So I understand when you are a mentor and you're out here and you're trying to do great things in the community, you know, and work with kids, it is something that is always in the back of your head that makes you very nervous. That is just the reality of where we are in our world today. Hey, Miss Honey. Oh, she dropped off. Miss Honey, did I take too long? Miss Honey, come back. Did I take too long? Thank you, Kim. Kim, I thought you wanted to come up. I dropped the link for you, but maybe you changed your mind, and that's okay. Name names, because innocent people are getting hurt by the residue. TD is just as capable, Diddy, to be a predator, and grooming is real. I am a victim. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lisa Wilson. I saw earlier where you said that you were you became a member, became a subscriber. Thank you so much. Hey, Miss Honey.
Hi, Really B. How are you?
I'm good, my love. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm sorry. I meant to hit the unmute button. I hit the mute button.
It's all right. It happens.
Yeah, girl. I ain't gonna hold you. I hope you had a happy holiday and your beautiful tribe as well.
I did. I'm up visiting my niece now. That's why the background's a little different. I'm up visiting my niece. So yeah.
Good girl. You got one more celebration coming now. Okay, so listen, you know I love the Lord.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I try to do what's right. I always try to do what's right. That's all you can do. Okay. I think TD Jakes is an anointed preacher. I do. I think he has put a lot of really, really positive things out here that people will be, living off of for years to come. I'm not going to take that away from him. At the same time, this is a whole messy situation because you put yourself in a position to be photographed. You put yourself in a position to be, that's the human side of him. Okay. I don't really know what's true or not. I just know how it's all rolling out. It's so messy. His name should be nowhere in here. It's no longer about Tyler Perry. You know what I'm saying? This man got
Right.
the Potter's house. I don't know if you know exactly how far reaching the Potter house
Oh,
and
I
all
know.
that stuff
Oh,
is,
I know.
but
Hmm.
I mean, your empire can really crumble. Your legacy, your family legacy could really crumble. I
Yeah.
mean, and look at Eddie Long. He's still trying to get on.
And he gone. He ain't even here no more.
Yeah, Eddie Long Jr. He's still trying to get on.
Oh, Eddie Long Jr. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, him,
Yeah,
him and
I
Jamal
mean,
Bryant are going at it right now, aren't they? I mean, not to change the subject, but
I'm just saying.
yeah.
All of this is fruits on the same poisonous tree. And so that's what bothers me about the TD Jake side. You know, we have to also remember too, every time something like this comes out, we become more and more desensitized to it. It used to be a time when you would never, not without them receipts, baby. Them receipts would be right there. Here he is right here in this picture. I'm the person underneath. You know what I'm saying? Like you had to do that because you didn't just accuse people. Now, I mean, people do it in memes, people do skits. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all a lie until it's proven. And until it's proven, I'm not gonna weigh in either way. I just know this is a real messy situation, and I'm gonna work as hard as I can not to get none of the ish on me.
I listen. I know. Look, I'll just repeat. Look, I'm just reporting the information. I don't have no dog in
Okay.
this fight. I have no dog in this fight, contrary to what people may think. But again, I think two. Like I said earlier with Thais, I think two things can be true at the same time. I do not believe that Larry Reid comes down and will say he has receipts and he doesn't have receipts. However, I also think they should have done it all at the same time. I think two things can be true at the same time, and I
I'm
agree
just
with
saying why Larry Reid got receipts. What Christian? I mean, you finna let Larry Reid drop your receipts? Like I just don't. It just all feels real off, real stuntish. You
you.
know, Larry Reid, I believe, is the ops anyways, but I digress.
Oh,
Um,
oh, okay.
yeah, yeah, I think other preachers use him to take each other out. Like he's the hitter for all the religious
Oh, that's
community.
interesting.
Yeah, girls. I be looking and lurking. Okay. Anywho, I'm gonna let you go, girl, because I got furniture coming. But
All right. I'm ready for the
that's my
I
whole
can't
thought
wait for the
process
grand
on it.
reveal, honey. I can't wait for the grand reveal.
Okay, me either. Me either. I'll be front and center down in the chat, my dear. I love you.
I love you too. Thank you for coming up. Now
All right,
listen,
honey. Bye bye.
we about to head over to El Teddy's house. Aaron, don't come up here with no mess. You got 1 minute. You got 1 minute. Aaron, don't come up here with no mess. Now I told y'all Aaron is my messy nephew.
Okay, give me one
Yes.
second. I'm at work, so I'm gonna step out
Oh Lord.
because I don't want people to hear me say what I'm about to say. Body.
Aaron, yes.
I am
Your sound is messing up.
DJ.
You just want to be messy. I'm not messing. I'm not doing this with you, Aaron. You just want to be messy.
No, like
Could
seriously. It's I can't. Can y'all hear
your
me? Can y'all hear
your
me?
sound is really bad, Aaron. Your sound is really bad. Your sound is really bad, Aaron. Katrina, I'm gonna let you speak. I'm gonna take Aaron down because I don't know what he got going on. Hey, Katrina, am I saying it right, Katrina?
Yes, darling, you're fine. You're fine. How are y'all
All
doing
right,
today?
welcome, welcome, welcome. You're gonna be the final word. So, what do you want to share?
Okay. I'm gonna put a little wisdom out here, just a little.
All right.
All right. When I was in school many moons ago, we had black teachers. These black teachers did not play. Do you think they sent the letter home asking my mom, can they paddle me? They tell you, walk to the bathroom, keep your mouth closed, wash your hands, walk to the lunchroom. Therefore, if you say anything in that line, when you get back into that classroom, you getting Bessie. And Bessie was 2 yardsticks taped together. Therefore, you knew the next day that if you talk, you're going to get a paddling. That's how structure is built. These kids don't have no structure now because the kids is running the teachers. You touch me, I'm going to go tell my mama. The teacher touched them or do anything, they lost all their credentials and everything, and they're fired from the time they went to school or whatsoever. Just if a child, even if a child lied and said a teacher hit them, they would get fired. They asked me to be a substitute teacher because I'm prior military, and I say no because I would be in jail. I can't deal. These kids these days, they don't have no type of guidance. The black schools, they let them do what they want to do. They fight all the time. And if you go to the clear schools, they have better lunches, they have better teachers, they have better, they have better structure over there, but they don't care about the black schools. The black schools run down and everything. They will build schools and it'll be for the white kids, but the black kids are still going to these old schools. They probably got lead poison and everything else in there. And the thing with the preachers and stuff, I don't understand. I know it's good to pay your tithes, don't get me wrong. But I don't understand is how these preachers are driving home in fancy cars and living in $1 million homes when your congregation is basically in the soup line or falling behind on their rent because they trying to pay their tithes to you. You can't put your faith in no man on this earth because can't nobody get you to heaven but yourself. You putting faith, you putting all your faith behind this person, this preacher was that's like idolater. And God said, you don't put nobody before me. See, when you praising these people, you're not praising God as well. Because you putting your faith in this person. So how you putting your faith in God? You can't serve two masters. You can only serve one. So when these people going around saying that they did and got all this money, but your congregation is looking like crap because they trying to give their tithes, doing what they're supposed to do, and paying their tithes to get their rewards back. But really, be just think about it. Look at the congregation. Look at Joel Osteen and whatsoever. These people could even go. He didn't want these people to go to his church because he didn't want to have
Take
people
him
from New
out.
Orleans in his church, like trying to dirty up his church. What kind of mess is that? The church door is supposed to be open to anyone. But you want these people to come in. And another thing with him too, how all this money get behind this wall in a bathroom. All of a sudden this bathroom had to be fixed. Now notice the money wasn't found until the reward of the money being found was over. So the person that found the money couldn't even get a reward because the limitation had went over that limitation. Of all things, this all of a sudden this bathroom just got messed up. Come on, be for real. These people need to open their eyes. These people cannot get you to heaven. Oprah Winfrey, them, all them. I don't know how people feel about her whatsoever, but I still think there's something fishy about the Hawaiian thing. No, how a firestorm just brim up like that? There's no possible way. But either way it goes, I don't put my faith in no man because can't no man do nothing for me other than give me my paycheck and let me go on by my way. My faith is in God because, like I said, you can't serve two masters. You can only serve one. And for people, I can't tell you what TD Jakes is doing. Whatever he's doing is going to be brought to the light by God. I can't judge him because if I judge him, well, how more would I be with myself if I'm judging another person? I don't listen. Whatever he got going on, it's like you said, it's gonna come to the light. And you doing exactly what you're supposed to do. You reporting what's going on. You're not being biased. You just telling people what's happening. And I appreciate you for that. And that's why I love your channel because it's not like you going on this side saying this person, that person. No, you going with the facts. And one thing I can say about you, you don't report nothing until you get the full information of it. You keep whatever you'll give your your opinion, but you don't elaborate on it. You just let it go as it goes, and you always speak the right way of trying to handle a whole situation. And that point I appreciate you on.
Child, I was doing all that talking. I just wanted to tell Katrina to subscribe to my Teacher Project 2.0 channel with El Teddy, because we could address some of those issues, those conversations she was having as it relates to education. Y'all stay right where y'all are. We are headed over to El Teddy's. You don't need to move. El Teddy is going to continue the conversation as it relates to TD Jakes. Should TD Jakes step down, or is TD Jakes going to step down? So that's the conversation he's going to have. Y'all sit where y'all are, and we are going over right now. Child, I could not stop